Welcome back to our HavaChat. This is episode 3. We have learned quite a bit from the first 2 episodes, so we are trying to make adjustments as we go. Please bear with us. One of the adjustments is the have a good time is too long. Because there is so much going on in this town, we need to narrow it down. So if we don't hit something that is going on, we apologize. But you can always find everything going on in town at golakehavasu.com. That's where we find it all. That's where you can find it all. If there is something, if you are listening and there is something that you're like, I really want you to mention this, please feel free to email us at havachatpod@gmail.com. That's all one word, HAVACHATPOD @gmail.com. Right? That is right. Yes. And so Soup is away on some personal stuff, so I'm going to take over with the have a good time.
All right.
With the things going down in Havasu, just to narrow our thoughts a little bit. So I did cut it down to some things that I felt were the bigger events. There are a lot of smaller events going on around town, so if we missed you, we apologize. If you are that heartbroken about it, please let us know. We will make sure to mention it the next time.
Done.
So it is March 4th. So there are concerts this week. Today, the launch, our air date is March 4th. So today, March 4th, and tomorrow, March 5th, are 2 concerts. There's Piano Man, which is Elton John and Billy Joel, one of my favorites, so I did feel like it was a highlight. And the Roy Orbison tribute, which is also very good.
I'm not big on Roy. But
No?
I do have Billy Joel in my calendar.
Yeah. And March 9th, which is the end of this week on a Sunday,
and
is...
my daughter's birthday.
And your daughter's birthday, okay. Is Turn the Page, a Bob Seger tribute, which is also a very good one. So those are the 3 concerts going on. So 4, 5, and 9. Yeah. You have to talk louder. That did not pick up. Okay. So those are kind of the concerts, and this is our concert season. So that's kind of where I started with my thinking. As far as
side comments louder, not
yeah,
under your breath like usual.
So the March 7th is our first Friday for March, the downtown experience on McCulloch. March 8th, which is the Sunday of March 9th. That is also a busy weekend, but March 8th is the Havasu Half Marathon. So if you're a runner or into those things, yeah, me neither. Not my jam.
I said we could walk it.
Yeah, you can walk it.
14 miles?
Huh?
Half the marathon, 14 miles.
Almost.
Yeah, 13.2 or 13.3.
I did that a long time ago for MS Walkathon.
13.1.
I was hoping that I had MS at the end. It was so damn long.
Our walking timing.
Yeah.
We could do it.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Way to go.
Thanks.
Also on the 8th is the Southwest Chowder Fest, which I have heard of but never really looked into. But it is put on by a group here in town. It is local restaurants, so it's not just like local people. And they come up with their own rendition of chowder, which I thought was clever.
I read that in the newspaper last year. And
Yeah?
Well received.
Yeah?
A lot of people love it.
I am highlighting this because their prize is a golden ladle. And I thought that was such a clever, cool idea.
Why?
The golden ladle is their winner. So that is March 8th. And then March 15th and 16th is the Art Guild's annual art show, Art at the Lake at the Aquatic Center. And it highlights 50 local artists, all the way from the high school students. I've known a few elementary kids to be in it, all the way to just local
That is very cool.
local people who do and it's everything from jewelry to photography to charcoals to acrylics. Like it's a large gamut of things. It's pretty interesting, and much like, what goes on at Grace Arts, it is pretty impressive to see what our little town has to offer as far as creativity. So those are the things that I highlighted. Granted, it was less anyways because February is like the busiest month in Havasu, so we kind of got ourselves in a rabbit hole with that one that we were able to easier to pull out of in March. So that concludes our Have a Good Time.
I have a quick have a comment.
Mm-hmm.
I was I think it was on YouTube. I can't remember where I got this, but I did see a comment on our previous episode about when we were talking about weird food combinations.
Oh, yeah.
And this is from Erin North 6966. And this is what she says. Okay, you can't knock it till you try it. Here are my favorites. Blueberry old-fashioned donuts dipped in Taco Bell nacho cheese.
What?
Oh, I don't know.
I am not.
Nacho cheese is not where I thought you were going with that.
When I even read it, I was like,
You know,
okay, you're on
in my
board.
head, I was like, okay, it's already glazed. We putting chocolate on it?
Nope.
Sugar?
Not Taco
Cinnamon?
Bell.
I was even
Specific.
thinking cinnamon.
Specific Taco Bell. So I'm
Interesting.
thinking, I don't know,
I do like Taco Bell nacho cheese,
on a
but
donut.
not no.
Yeah,
There's another one. She has another one. She's really
Okay.
into the Taco Bell.
Okay.
Love it.
Thin mints dipped in Taco Bell nacho cheese.
No.
Wow, I just feel like I need to go try the nacho cheese at this
I know,
point.
that's what I was thinking. I have not
Like-
had this cheese, but it's obviously
I mean,
changed
it's-
Aaron's life. What? Uh-huh.
Yeah, Taco Bell is not. I am not a Taco Bell.
No,
Like,
tacos.
I feel about Taco Bell the way you feel, Queen Bee, about McDonald's. Like, no, thank you.
Yeah.
But
Not a-
you know,
not a
it
McDonald's
last
fan.
resort, I have had their nachos, like just chips and
Yeah.
cheese.
Yeah.
But I mean, it was years ago. It's
The same
been
cheese.
it's probably literally the same cheese. I understand that.
Literally the same thing.
Coming out of the same.
Like I'm by years, I mean like I was in college years. Like it was a long time.
Well, wait. So she has more.
Oh my gosh, I love
I know.
this. Thank you,
She's-
Erin.
I know. I'm loving this.
Thanks, Erin.
Sour cream and cheddar chips dipped in Nutella.
Oh.
I don't think I've
Okay.
had that either.
Yeah, I think I can get on board with that idea.
Yeah.
I'm more willing to try that than the donuts and nacho cheese.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm being honest.
Let's see what else we have.
I like all those things separately, so maybe together, yeah.
Oh, maybe.
I like nacho cheese.
So then here's fried potatoes
Ooh,
dipped in
okay.
caramel sauce. Now that I
Mm.
might look if those potatoes are pretty salty.
I would need them to be crispy.
Yes,
Yeah.
definitely.
Not mushy.
Like, I understand fried implies crisp, but
Not all the
but
time.
not
yeah,
always.
yeah.
Last one, I'm going to tell you she's lost me, and I might want to get some help out for her.
Okay.
Hot dogs with rainbow chip frosting.
What?
So
Rainbow chip frosting has like chunks in it.
I know. And there's
That'd be like chunky hot dog frosting. Interesting.
That is
I don't know.
interesting.
I still feel like I'm more likely to try that one than the donuts in the nacho cheese, if I'm being honest.
Yeah, I do love the sweet,
Mhm.
salty, but like that.
I like a good hot dog. Like, I really enjoy a hot dog.
You know what? I was at a few weeks ago. Star Nursery had their big sale, which was amazing.
Yeah?
Yes, and they had free hot dogs, and
Mm.
they grilled them, but they were like all beef hot dogs. They were
Really?
yes. And Star Nursery is really good. Do you ever go to there? They have really good plants.
No.
So you got to come to my
I mean,
house
I
and see
have
my
been one,
plants
yeah.
because they are looking fabulous. So,
That's fantastic.
yeah. So,
Those are,
Aaron, you know what? Aaron North, and I
well,
forgot the rest of your numbers there.
you know,
but
on Monday, I might be bringing upstairs some treats.
I will watch out. Very nice.
So just prepare.
Oh, good.
So those are the comments that I
Yes.
had.
Oh,
And thank
I
you very
love
much.
that.
Please
Yeah.
keep coming because I was very delighted.
Yeah.
And so there you go. Who are we up for next?
I will go next.
Okay, great.
I definitely have a theme this week, so you'll catch on.
Okay.
real quick.
I'm ready.
But all my
I love your cards, by the way.
Thank you.
That you
did.
stole again.
You're very organized with these
Mm.
index cards. I love it.
Colored.
Hey, I used my own pens this time.
You did use your own pens this time.
So,
All right.
Okay. I have a couple jokes first.
I'm
A
loving
little
it.
bit, some have-a-laughs.
All right, here we go.
Okay.
B.
Why doesn't Voldemort use glasses?
Oh, I've heard this one.
No one knows.
That was it. Yeah. Because I also heard a version of it with the ears too.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Huh. All right. Like it. Here we go.
Why does Snape hate herbology?
Mm.
Because his Lily died.
Oh, Lily Potter. Lily Potter. That's only going to make sense to Harry Potter
I
fans.
know.
That's a real niche right there.
I know.
Yeah, that's all right, though.
They're
I like
out
it.
there.
So I'm going with your theme is Harry Potter, just
yeah.
so we're aware.
Yep. 100%. What program do wizards use to edit photos?
Oh, I should probably figure this one out.
Adobe Photoshop. Gotcha.
Oh, Dobby.
Okay.
You're
All right, here we go.
The yolks are done.
Mm-hmm.
Now these are just some. If you're a fan, then this is going to be a really good discussion.
Okay.
Okay.
I'm a huge fan. Yep.
Yep.
Well, I mean, that's our mutual.
Yep.
Our first mutual.
Mm-hmm.
Why did Harry only see Thestrals in Book 5 after Cedric Diggory's death, when he watched his mom die as a baby?
So I feel like if you're not a fan, we need to explain that
Okay.
Cestrals are the horses that lead the
Fly.
carriage or fly
But you can
from
only
the-
see them
right
if
from the
you-
train to
yeah.
the castle.
and you can only
at
see
Hogwarts.
them if you have witnessed death. So they're kind of a bad omen, but in the book and the movies, Luna tries to explain that they're not.
Right.
They're gentle, and they are. But you can only see them if you have witnessed death.
I would say it has to do with the consciousness of baby versus, like, he's not an adult, but
But he remembers it though. Wait,
go back to your question now, because now that you've had background
Okay.
story.
sorry.
Please.
There we are. Why did Harry only see Thestrals in Book 5 after Cedric Diggory's death?
Maybe because something unlocked his subconscious.
Maybe, and I thought about that too. And I thought about that. If he's a
Mhm.
baby, you don't really remember things. But he
Right.
does remember it because he hears the screams every time he, anything happens to him, really. He kind of
Right.
hears it. But mostly with the Dementors, when they come around, he hears
Right, but
it and he sees it. Sees the green light. So did he actually not witness because of the light and everything going on?
right. I don't think that as a baby he actually witnessed, and he doesn't know what that is until later when he knows more of his parents' story.
Okay, so
So
here's
it's
So-
like a connector, like
right.
Oh wait, this is
Yeah.
The only real death he has processed is Cedric's
Okay.
at that point.
But here's
I
another
love Harry
kicker.
Potter so much.
Here's
Okay.
another kicker though.
I love my nerds.
He watched Professor Quirrell perish,
Mhm.
turn to stone and die basically too.
But Professor Quirrell, I feel like, was somewhat dead already because he was... Isn't he kind of a Horcrux?
No.
But like some type of... Right. But he's possessed, like...
Sharing a body.
So he essentially is already gone.
Okay.
I mean, let's face it.
good.
There's all this conspiracy
I know.
out there about Harry Potter and its connection to, religion and, the idea, spoiler alert, that Dumbledore comes back to Harry when Harry passes and Harry, spoiler alert, doesn't actually die. So, like, there's all this, like, religious conspiracy behind it regardless. So that could be, that could lend itself to it as well.
Because that could tie into why, he didn't kill him, because it's more of a figment of his imagination, or not even a real person, but when Tom Riddle was like a person right before Ginny died, and he was able to kind of take her soul and be a complete body again. In the second book, because he wasn't an actual person. Right.
He was just the embodiment of the Horcrux, which was the journal.
Right.
Yep.
And
if you haven't watched, read, or done anything with Harry Potter, you might want to get on it. It's so good. So good.
Of all the books I've read, I only read one of those, so...
Oh my gosh.
No, I don't know.
Juju, that is... Why have we never discussed it? You've only read one of them before.
You know what? Because also other books...
Have you read the movies? Or have you read the movies? Have you seen the movies?
I have, but a long time ago.
Right.
But yeah.
Because, like, my brother is also a fan of Harry Potter, but he never read any of the books because he's not a reader. And I feel like I am, like, a VIP Harry Potter fan because I've read the books and seen the movies. And he doesn't know all the...
I'll get you my Audible pass.
all the idiosyncrasies that go into...
Yeah.
So here's another one.
Some of the storylines.
HB is a huge,
Yeah.
huge.
Here's another one. So in the end, Snape was holding on to these very important memories, these very important things. What if, because he was kind of left with the challenge to make sure Harry knew these things. But what if Harry did not know that Snape was with Voldemort, and obviously he was killed at that point too.
Spoiler alert.
So why?
After so many years, I
know.
If you have to
So what if Snape died before he could get all those things to Harry?
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like that's a nice, what if, but it's a story that someone wrote, so that would never have happened that way. So I think that's where that, human manipulation of a story comes in. Like,
I don't think he planned on getting killed. I think he planned on being like Voldemort's right-hand man till the end, obviously knowing that he's not like on his team.
Yeah.
He's more of like a default spy
Yeah.
type person, but I don't think he planned on him killing him.
I also wonder too if, like, in the memories that Dumbledore had saved, they can't all be only his memories. We know they weren't because the guy who changes into the couch, that I can't think of his name right now.
Professor Slughorn.
Is it Slughorn? He had memories from him.
But they were altered.
Right. So is there a chance that those memories, if we're thinking the what ifs of non-story and human manipulation, that Dumbledore had already stored those memories in case for Snape? Because, Dumbledore had some type of power that he was seeing where this was going. He knew
he was almost stalking all of these memories so that way in case
Harry would know his
happen.
story.
Yeah. True. Yep.
So assuming this is like a real story,
right,
and J.K. Rowling did not just write it all and have this beautifully wrapped up for him, that would be my answer then. That maybe Dumbledore was storing it.
My thought too was, I'm pretty sure 100% Hermione knew this entire time. And she was really good about keeping secrets.
Yeah.
And I think that's the one thing that the relationship that she had with Dumbledore
Yeah.
before he passed is that he knew she was very, very smart and she was going to be able to hold on to these things. And I feel like she proved that when he allowed her to use the time turner
Yeah.
in book 3, Prisoner of Azkaban. And that was kind
Yeah.
of her test. Like, if you can do this
Uh-huh.
without
Yeah.
telling her. Like, having her do it without telling her, if you can do that.
So do we think Hermione's destiny is to be the first Muggle head mistress? Ultimately?
Oh, for sure. But if you're playing Hogwarts Legacy, there are headmistresses.
Correct, but I
before
mean,
her.
in the story.
In this time period.
Yeah. Yeah. Because the video game, Hogwarts Legacy, is not in this same time
But
as...
doesn't Professor McGonagall take over?
No, I don't think there's anybody really in it from...
When all of this
Mhm. When all the movies come.
From
a person.
not a seasoned
Great.
HP
great.
fan. Yeah. When someone writes a book like this, do you think she's got to have a flow chart in chart
Oh, I
all
thought about that
over her
too.
room?
I thought about that too. It'd have to be
Thank
through
you.
your whole house.
You would have to, because there's like you were talking about the storylines. There's no way that you could keep those in because you'd forget something, and then people would be like calling you like, that doesn't work because of this and this and this.
Yep.
And like,
I know.
I mean, I know
Wow.
from listening to the podcast, The Office Ladies, that they had like a Bible of things. So like if you were going to reference something in season 5 from like season 2, you were sure that consistency was there and that was someone's job. So yes, they called it the Bible. Like it was a real thing. They reference it a lot in their podcast where they're rewatching the show and giving their insight and stuff. But yeah, I also think that she is just like J.K. Rowling is just so creative, and she's just seeing this. I mean, she created this whole world that people want to live in now. Like they are obsessive about. Right. That. Yeah. I mean, her mind just works differently than ours. I feel like so. While we might need the flow chart, maybe she doesn't. I mean, it's the world she's quote unquote living in.
Yep.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
My very last one
Okay.
is they really only talk about these two things once, and one is the time turner.
Uh-huh.
They only use that one time.
Yep.
The other one is the potion Felix Felicis, where it gives you drink it and it gives you good luck for the whole day or the duration of the potion.
Ooh, don't they bring that up in book 7?
Yeah, but why aren't they using it more often? I mean, there are things.
I would wonder what are the side effects of like the potion.
So I did read that
And then,
a little bit, and
yeah.
the side effects on the potion is you can't use it too often, or else it
Right.
starts doing something.
You,
whatever.
right, you
I
build
don't
almost
remember.
like an immunity, I would think.
No, it starts something worse.
Yeah.
To, I don't know. I don't remember.
So is this potion actually tequila? Because it sounds a lot like.
No.
No. No.
I mean, from the face they make when they drink it, it could be.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I agree about
And
the
it's
time
very
turner.
hard to make, though. Too.
Yes, it is very hard to make. But I agree about
And
the
a
time turner.
short shelf life.
Yeah.
So I did read that on that. But
Yeah.
if you Slughorn had it. So if he's making it and giving it as a prize, but if it has a short shelf life, like what they were saying, Harry hung on to that for a while.
I mean, let's face it. In this world, these people live to be 200-300 years old. So, yeah. So, I mean, in reality, is their short life like okay, a third of their life? That's 100 years potentially.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a long time.
Yeah.
But in our life, like that's a really long short life because we don't live to that long. So, is that kind of a perspective?
Yeah.
Shelf life
But
thing?
I guess past the potion, because has
Yeah.
so many different things to it. But
Yeah.
the time turner specifically, though.
I was surprised in the books, like when in book 7, spoiler alert, they all get like their thing from Dumbledore, that the time turner was not what Hermione was given. right?
But-
That's in book 7, yeah.
Yeah, and there was something
'Cause it's at the
explained
wedding,
some point
right?
Where they were all destroyed in the ministry.
I don't remember that, but like
But if
I
he
always
are-
thought
but-
that
but
was
yes, but if he already had one, it was
Right.
not at the ministry.
right.
So when they found it, did they take it and destroy it with the rest of them, or is it somewhere? Or at this point too,
Right.
if he knew all these things were happening, why not take the time turner, go back, and
I don't think the time
like-
turner takes you back that far.
No, but if
Because even when
he
Hermione
already had
uses
it.
it's only like a day or a few hours. It's not.
Right.
It's not
If
like,
he-
oh, I'm gonna go back.
But if Dumbledore had it and he knew,
We don't know when he got it though.
true, I guess.
It just appears in the stories. I don't know. We'd have to ask J.K. about that.
Yeah.
All right. JK,
Mhm.
HavaChat pod.
And,
Yeah.
And is it one of those things that you can only go back into this time period one time because you already
Manipulated
there's
it.
already two of you there, and you already cannot be seen by
Right.
you. So are now
'Cause
are
the
you
times
avoiding
have to
you
match
and
up.
you? Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know.
Weird.
That's a
right?
good one. Yeah.
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 That's it.
All
for
right.
me.
Nice.
Thank you.
Very
Yeah.
thoughtful.
Thanks.
Very thinking.
Good Harry Potter discussion.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I can go if you don't mind. My thought coming from work was this. What value, or I guess I'm going to say value for right now, do you think is most important for someone to have in, like to work with or in a job?
as
What do you
like-
think is the most important?
As like a coworker,
Sure, let's say coworker.
like just to get along with, or
Like, sure, overall, if like you were like, what do you think, or overall, what do you think is the most, what do you think is, like overall, because everyone can have different jobs, what do you think is like a number one thing that people should have?
So you're asking, like, kind of like a friend, like, what's the one quality you look for in a coworker?
Right, sure.
I would say, I mean, much like a friend, it's going to be like that trust. The trust to be able to
Well, maybe
do.
not even just a friend, but what do you think is
Right, but in a
important?
coworker,
Okay,
right.
a
I'm saying,
coworker.
just like in a friend, I'm looking
Yes.
for that trust, not only in, like, what I want to do, but what you want to do, and, like, trusting that you will tell me before I'm left blindsided.
Oh, sure. No, that's I like
So, that, I mean, teamwork is a big one for me, too.
that. Yeah.
I want to work together. I don't want to work in
Right.
isolation.
All those college
Yep.
things that you did.
Mm-hmm.
Well, you're in a group, you're like, oh,
Oh,
great, I'm gonna do
man.
all this by myself. I know it. Yeah. What do you think?
That's a good one. Understanding, which I guess goes with patience, but it's more than patience, though.
Yeah, patience. You don't need understanding, really.
Correct. Like
wait
as
them
long as
out.
you just wait it out, it's fine.
Just
No,
wait you out.
but it's both. But understanding, so understanding just. I need
think
time to do this,
yeah.
or this is the way I did it, and this is why.
Understanding, I think, goes with trust. Then probably.
A little
Mm-hmm.
bit.
Yeah.
Yep. I feel like it kind of falls under a lot of branches.
categories.
Mm-hmm.
I went somewhere different with my own question, and
Okay.
I went with work ethic.
Oh.
Because I always say people
yeah.
need work ethic. And then I thought, okay, how do you define work ethic? And thank you, Google. Looked it up.
I love a good Google.
I do.
Gemini. She's my new best friend.
Feed, or what is,
No, it's
Jeeves.
Gemini.
oh yeah, but it was thinking
Oh,
Feed.
Ask Jeeves. Yeah, we talked about that. Yeah, that butler got me a lot of answers in high school.
That was a great. So this is what it said: a personal set of values that determines how any employee or person approaches their work, being accountable, reliable, and maintaining open communication. I know it. So
Okay, read those again.
Yeah.
yes,
Open
that's a lot.
communication, reliable, accountable. Was that all of it?
Being accountable, reliable, maintaining open communication.
Okay,
That was, and I was.
I like
thought
those
that was-
three.
I like it.
Mhm.
I thought, oh, that
Wow.
Not what I would have thought of
That's
work
a good
ethic.
one.
But I did like personal set of values that determines how any person, I'm going to say person, approaches their work. Because I think if you have work ethic, I think I have a good work ethic, and I think I do it. Usually I'm at home. Like, it's just who you are, right? Personal set of values. So here's my other question with that. Because I think we hear a lot, or I've been hearing a lot of like, because I think, I personally think I have a good work ethic. I'm thinking that came from my parents, especially my dad, and my husband has a good work ethic and came from his mom, and I think my children have it because, whatever. So my question is, in this time of like our smaller generation, let's just say they go into the workforce, if they didn't have those parents that worked hard and stuff, can you get work ethic after you're an adult? Can you?
Yes. I believe that.
Yes?
Yep.
So how do you think that would be developed?
You have to want it.
Yeah?
You do. You in your mindset, you have to want that. You have to want to get out of how you grew up, basically. Like, you don't want to be part of that. You don't want to have that, like, we'll say laziness.
Right.
For lack of a better term,
Yes.
right?
Yep. You have to want to not be that, and you have to just want to be able to do things or do better for yourself. So you're gonna go.
So
you are training yourself.
Right.
To do this.
So I would say
is environmental to it too.
Yeah.
Say that again.
There is environmental to it as well. So I guess it just depends on what you choose to do with your
right.
life.
So my answer is no. I don't think it's something you develop as an adult. In most cases, are there outliers to that? Absolutely. But in general, my answer is no, because like what you're talking about, I don't disagree, but that comes from a desire. That's not your work ethic. That's your passion.
Yes.
So your work, I think, like, you can be passionate and work harder than you would, but like, let's say you really love old cars,
right,
but you didn't go to mechanic school, so you can't get a job as a mechanic, so you work at a gas station. And your work ethic at the station is not good, but like your side hustle is doing all these random cars, and like people really value you in that. I don't think so I wouldn't consider that work ethic. That's a passion.
I like that definition, like that you've separated, because you're right, because some people are like, they might work really hard here, but not. So I would agree with that. That work ethic is like because it's a personal value, so it encompass all areas of your life. Also, but I did like, this is what I was thinking. That's an interesting thing, because then let's say we have a culture or a small society or whatever of people that don't have that work ethic. So based on your definition, then you're only able to really work towards a different set of values by being outside of your family niche and noticing something different. So, all right.
I mean,
I know that was a little deep, more than our normally do.
Very
But
deep.
thank you.
Yeah.
Sometimes.
Yeah.
But I do think, like, it does still go with what she was saying too, that, if you have a passion but you have this other job, it is still the work ethic, because if you have a passion for this, you can't go and do this as your life. If you had a good work ethic, the next step in your life would be to figuring out how to make that passion your reality.
Right. Yeah. And I guess it could then at some point cross over to the rest of who you are.
Sure, yeah. Because like she was saying, like, for the cars and then the mechanic, as an example, like if you loved old cars,
right,
but you're not a mechanic, so you can't do that, but you just learn things in your garage. Right. I feel like the next thing that you should do is go to school or get your license to be able to do that. So then that way your passion is your job. And your work ethic would be probably top notch. Because now
but then your work ethic but your work ethic is only top notch in that forum.
Right.
So is it really your work ethic, or is it what you're passionate about?
I was going to say, that's a good point, because I think there's someone that we all know that they're passionate about something that is not at all part of their job.
Mm-hmm.
And they like to talk about it, and it's, like, go on, and it's, like, amazing. Like, wow, that is a lot of information that I had no idea that you actually had any passion stored up. And, like, that should be your job because, like, at work,
We're lacking.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, not a lot of movement there.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
When does it become a work ethic and not a passion?
So if you had a work ethic, then I think you would do exactly what you
What
said.
I was
like,
saying.
Right. You'd be like, this is, like, what am
I'm
I
gonna
doing
do
this
everything
for? This
I
isn't my
can
passion.
Right.
Why would I
to be here.
Right. If
Yeah.
I have work ethic and I really want to be a mechanic, but I'm struggling at mechanic school, I'm never going to stop going.
Right.
I'm always going to persevere through it. But if I'm like, oh, well, I can't pass this, so I'm just going to, I'm just not going to do it. Like, it's just to me, because like you said, you feel like work ethic translates, like, into home and into, and so, like, if it's not translating across the board, is it really a thing?
If I'm passionate about acting, would I be a struggling actor?
Seriously, I have thought about that I have thought about that comment so much lately since we
Episode 1.
Like, we're a month in now, and I still think about it. What was I doing the other day that I was like, oh my God, we need actors for that? Oh, I know what I was thinking. I was looking at summer vacations, and I was like, okay, let's go on a cruise. And I was like, look at all this freaking entertainment. Like, these people all need that actor,
actors.
singer.
Let's go.
Yeah. Like, geez, Louise. Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, it's probably not as glorious as
Right.
it sounds, but they still
But
get
if
you
you
there.
still have a passion for it,
Yeah.
acting's
There
acting.
it is.
Right.
There you go.
Yeah,
But that work
you come up with
ethic.
some good ones.
Yeah, that work ethic.
Yeah.
Because if you're an actor, you're gonna take those roles no matter what, and that's the work ethic that will get you somewhere else. But if you are not,
Right.
if you're just like passionate about it, you're gonna be willing to let those simple roles go, even though they could mean exposure.
I was thinking about B and I, like, you know what? Our passion for heckling other people
Oh,
was with that word. I would be translating that onto every golf course I knew.
I would have a stack
Of index
of cards.
Yes.
There you go.
Ready and
That's a
handy.
passion.
Okay.
That's a passion.
Yeah.
But my work
That's
ethic would be prepared with all of
Right.
her cards.
Right. All my index cards would be gone.
Because she has a passion for pens and index cards.
Mhm.
And anything else amazing like that.
Mm-hmm.
And then thumb through all her note cards.
I love it.
Yeah.
All right. So that was my thought.
Interesting.
Thank you.
So, we're really in the discussion realm today because I went with a have a question, and B and I already kind of talked about this. Because I've seen a lot of, like, on social media, kind of meme-ish, news report-ish. It's hard to tell these days on some of those things. That, like, it is a serious red flag when someone says they enjoy relaxing to true crime.
Oh,
Okay.
Well.
Yeah.
Whoopsie.
I caught my... Yeah. Even last night, like, I was texting B, like, oh, I'm watching the true crime you told me to watch, and I'm all in.
Yeah.
It was 3 episodes. I watched the whole thing on a Friday night.
Oh, is that the one that I watched too?
No.
About the perfect wife?
No, this is a different... Nope.
This is a new one
This is
now.
similar.
Right.
The Perfect Wife, now on ABC.
What?
Yep,
Yep.
on Thursday nights, if you're interested. It's on Real TV now, not
No,
just streaming.
The new one.
Yeah,
that
is-
we watched, and then I was like,
Is the Gabby
you have to
Petito,
watch
American Murder, Gabby Petito on Netflix.
it. Yep.
Which,
I remember following the
Oh,
whole thing.
me too.
but,
And, yeah.
So it was
Oh my
just.
gosh.
It
Yeah.
was crazy.
So,
But-
B has been home with sick children, and she had time to watch it. And so I finally had time last night.
Speaking
And-
of marathons earlier, these are the ones I'm in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, right?
Full
Yeah.
marathon.
Binge marathon, yeah.
Horizontal.
Yeah. I'm all in if Havasu hosts like a sit at home and watch your show nonstop. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. I would
So-
be
All
on
right.
that.
Yeah. back on topic. Thank you.
Rails.
And then, so when she came over today, I said, "Oh, I finished it," and then I started this other one, and she's like, "Oh my God, we watched that one last night too," and it was about America, like the greatest con artist that ever lived or something.
Like Australians.
Yeah, it was an Australian. I'm gonna look it up right now.
Instagram,
It was good.
Biggest Instagram
con
artist.
Yeah.
Dancer?
No,
the TikTok, not the TikTok dance one.
The Instagram girl who
Granted.
said she had brain cancer. And
The search for Instagram's worst con artist is what
There
it's
it is.
called.
Oh,
And it went on for like years, and then she like even started doing these like charity events and stuff
Right.
for like cancer, and then she was
Which
healing herself with holistic,
Oh,
just
man.
drinking juice and eating
Yeah.
organic and
Yeah.
all this stuff, and then in the end, like her friends were like, "We don't believe you anymore," and
Yeah.
then she tried to do this whole thing. Now she has like 4 cancers, and somehow she was still living.
Yeah,
It
it's
reminds me of that girl that the mom was always wheeling around.
Yeah, but
Gypsy. This is different.
Okay.
She was doing this to herself. She was
Yes.
on Instagram. She had this like
This following.
this big following,
Mhm.
and this image that she was holding up, and then she created an app
Right.
that people could pay for to get these
Mhm.
recipes and stuff for all these.
Right.
Spoiler alert! So you don't have to watch
Yeah.
it now. So she created this app people could download.
Well, it's true crime. I mean,
Yeah.
there's no spoiling it. It already
Yeah.
happened.
And
Like-
people
Sorry.
were paying for
Crime is going
this-
to happen.
for this app to get all these recipes for all this holistic stuff that she was
Right.
like, you have to have this, you have to drink this. Like, I've been healing myself for, doctor told me I had 4 months to live, and here I am 5 years later.
Right.
Like, specifically on these things.
Okay, this is not what I actually wanted to
But-
talk
oh.
about. This is not actually what I wanted to talk about.
So, back on topic.
So again, this leads into my question, because I know a lot of times, like when we think true crimes, we're thinking murder has to happen somewhere. And with Gabby Petito, it did, but like we already knew, like you knew this story,
Yeah.
you know. And I mean, I watched one on Lacey Peterson like a few weeks ago, also very good. So what constitutes true crime is my question, because
Okay.
when I think about this, okay, Juju loves a good documentary.
I do.
Is
Yes.
like a good World War II documentary
Yes.
about Hitler
Or
true crime.
Yes. Yes.
Is
yes.
that true crime?
Yes. Yep. Because.
So
and this
are
is
we
why-
giving right?
this
Are
is
we
why-
giving a bum rap to true crime because it's all these white soccer moms that are watching it all the time, and it's Dateline and it's Snapped and it's
Sure.
you know
Right.
Cold
They
Justice.
They don't always end up in. I mean, in Hitler's case, there was a lot of murder, but
Right.
it does not end up in a murder because
Right.
The Perfect Wife did not end up
True.
in a murder.
And Scamanda, which is also
Spoiler alert.
yeah,
it's
it's real. It's true crime though.
It's
We
true
already
crime.
know.
It's already happened.
Yeah, you already know.
Okay, I guess you can do it.
Yeah.
So if you don't know all the details,
Right.
then you can go watch it
So
yourself.
Scamanda
But-
is another one that is currently on TV. It's also on Hulu. It is also a podcast that was fantastic, and I listened to the podcast. The show has just started. It's like 4 episodes in, and it is not a murder, but it is a true crime.
So is the true crime? So here's the thing.
Mhm.
Loving my World War II history.
Mm-hmm.
I'm wondering if actually, like Hitler and all that, would be a true crime, because what gets your interest is something that's unknown. It's like suspenseful, because you're like we're going down this road. You're like, what? That is crazy.
And I guess
you know
for-
what? Hitler, we know he's crazy
So-
right away. Look at
Well,
the
Right.
I guess for
Mustache
things like
count.
in the history, I guess it depends on what part you're looking at. Because if you're
Mhm.
just looking at like how submarines came about, and you're going way back, and you're
Mhm.
and it is still around
So
all the war and stuff. But
Yes.
if you're only looking at like
this is
you
a
could-
light
you
bulb
could
moment.
Call it, you could call it World War II
Right.
upgrade of tanks or something like that. So if you're going into and you're only looking at the tanks, but the World War II is there, I don't think that's a true crime.
So
But I
light
think
bulb
for things
moment.
like that,
I have
it
one
just
too.
depends on
Right.
what you're doing. But
Is-
when you're doing crime,
Right.
I think it's
But
makes sense.
is true crime then just a subcategory of a documentary?
Oh,
that were so like. Could I just say I like documentaries?
Yes.
You could.
And then I don't sound so red flaggish
Yep.
Like,
to the world because green flag,
Green
yellow,
flag.
maybe yellow, maybe a little caution, but because right.
Flag.
But then, so what types of shows are like? Because what if I said, "Oh, I love to fall asleep to Law and Order." That's a bigger deal to me. Like, that's a bigger red flag. Law and Order is harsh. It is gruesome. Criminal Minds. These are all fictional.
You know what?
But these
Criminal
people
Minds,
that
I still
love
like,
them.
That is more scary than.
It is so
Hitler.
scary.
Like, that is just like. freaking
Yeah.
out.
I mean, some
Those
of these
people are
true,
weird.
like actual true crimes, they
I
are
mean,
kind of
not-
scary too.
Right.
It really did happen, but
Right.
like you said, it is a documentary because
Right.
they got all the details. They brought it to basically to life.
Right. And I can watch a
And there's
documentary
beginning and an end.
before I go to bed.
These characters no longer.
I am
are-
not watching Criminal Minds before I go to bed.
You know what? I can.
No.
I can go to sleep watching World War II.
Yeah, I
but
can go to-
cannot go to sleep with Criminal Minds
No.
Right.
No.
or even
I can-
Law and Order.
I
Those
feel
are
like
really
that's a
little
bigger
freaky.
red flag. Like, oh,
Right.
that's my favorite show. That's my favorite thing. For those of you, that's your favorite show. I'm very sorry. But
Mm-hmm.
if you're one of those
Check out
that's
True
like,
Crime.
that is
Yeah.
my favorite, I watch it all the time on rerun, that might be a bigger red flag to me than
Right.
like, I watched the newest true crime about this.
Right.
Or
Yeah.
that. Like we do. We're like, we
Mhm.
watched it. Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, and I personally think it's like it's an unknown. So here's my other thought.
Okay.
The Lusitania. Going World War I here.
Okay.
Yeah, I was gonna
Yeah,
say,
way back.
whoa.
Way back.
Yep.
But the thing is, we're like, okay, like the like Germans that sunk it, like, hey, like spoiler alert, it got sunk. Like everyone knew that the Lusitania had 3 smokestacks, and so they like had to know that it was a passenger one, but where it went maybe true crime was the Lusitania. They think blew up so like big because it was maybe
Tampered with.
bringing like war, like ammunition and stuff over
Mm.
to England. So like that's where it went to the true crime area of like
Mhm.
like a little twist.
Yeah.
That's what I'm thinking.
Like, what
Mm.
are the facts of that? Who,
Right.
you know,
Mhm.
like that. Yep. See, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Some of these
But even like
documentaries
with
from the
Hitler,
past
like
can't
like
be
someone
true
like
crimes.
was sneaking, like decided, yeah, he's a little cray cray, not just because of the weird
Right.
mustache,
Right.
And then they had a bomb and like whatever, like then it was like a little twist, like what?
Yeah.
Someone
Yeah.
almost could have like they were so close to like getting him right away.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Is I think
Yeah.
I think when it comes to like history or things that have happened, it depends on how you portray
Present
it, and you
Mhm.
present it in a way like if you just had this documentary of the Lusitania, just this is how it was built. That's not a true crime. But when you go into everything else about it, it could.
Yeah. So if you just said, hey, it sank, blah blah blah, all this stuff, but then okay, that's a documentary. But then when we're going like,
Yep.
was it as innocent as we thought?
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Love it.
Yeah, I think
That's
you
a
could.
good topic.
So the
Nice
perspective-
job, G. Nice job.
I think it depends on what you're reporting.
Mm.
Mm-hmm.
I like it.
Yeah.
And you can also sound like instead of like, hey, I love true crime, you're like, hey,
I like
history with a
documentaries.
twist.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the same thing. You could take the what was her name? Belle Gibson.
Yeah.
You could take her.
Not Mel Gibson.
Not Mel.
Belle.
Belle.
But if you take her and you're just like, and if you turn the story a little bit differently and only reported the facts and like watch out for your friends, that's no longer a true crime. But the way that they presented it, this girl did this, and this, and this is what happened.
No,
Yeah,
I would
now
still
it's a
consider it a crime. She was fraudulent.
Yeah, but if they
Fraudulent.
If they didn't make it like a 3-part episode,
Right.
they're just like, this happened one time and didn't use her name.
Yeah.
I
Right,
feel like that's
right.
a true crime. That would just be like a news report.
Right.
Or like, you know what? That one, who was that other lady that was, I think she was from Germany or something, and she had this all...
Oh, Inventing Anna. Anna
Yeah.
something. I haven't watched that one
Oh,
yet.
well, you should.
I know, I
Very
should.
Interesting.
Mm-hmm. Same thing though.
Yeah.
Yes,
Same
Yeah.
because otherwise, like in the news, they're not going to go all.
But I mean, she's famous now. She's got more than 15 minutes of fame. She was on Dancing with the Stars.
which is ridiculous.
Right. I know we had that whole discussion
Yeah,
as well.
We had this. We did because she wore an ankle bracelet.
Yes.
Right.
How can you vote for anyone with an ankle bracelet?
I mean, it's not a very,
whether
it was
it's
not a
attached
pretty,
to anything or not.
It was not a pretty ankle bracelet.
Yeah.
Let's.
Yeah. And everyone knows ankle bracelets are.
Yeah, like
just kidding.
Wink, wink, ankle bracelet. It was not made of gold.
No.
Or silver.
No matter how much you bedazzle that.
Yeah. No.
Do you get in trouble if you bedazzle your ankle bracelet?
No.
I don't think so, as
No,
long as
because
it
they
stays
did.
on.
I'm pretty sure hers was.
Huh.
I'm pretty sure they put rhinestones on hers at one point.
I wonder if they could read. Like,
I don't know. I didn't watch
They
it.
sound like they're an expensive thing. I wonder if you have to like once you're off, ankle monitoring, they put it in the basket, and then all of a sudden the next criminal is like, "Hey, we're just gonna reset this up. Now it's yours." Could have someone
Yeah.
got stuck with a bedazzled ankle?
Kind of like when you go to a restaurant and you get a new pager.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like someone else's paper,
Put it back on the charger.
Put it back on the charger, and all of a sudden now, like, sorry,
Yeah.
John has an ankle bracelet. That's
Yeah.
now.
What if they forgot to rename it?
That would
What
suck.
What if?
What
Mistaken
if?
identity at its worst. At its worst.
Oh, good
Yeah.
job today.
Yeah. So that
Yeah.
that pretty much wraps up episode 3 for us.
These are going.
Again, let us know if you have any feelings, thoughts, opinions, or
Was this one too much discussion? Should we have gotten it a little bit
Yeah.
later?
we're open.
Or-
Like we
or
are.
Should we go all in on Harry Potter, or maybe use that?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
If there's
Yeah.
fans out there,
Yeah.
let me know your thoughts.
Yeah,
Oh.
we are, as we said in episode 1, not professionals at this, and
No, but we have a
We-
lot of thoughts.
we do. This is just like if we had dinner together, that
Yeah.
you are eating dinner with us. So we hope that you enjoy our discussion,
Yes.
and we're happy to have you at our table, and please come back again.
Yes, please.
So, till next time,
Goodbye.
adios.
Toodaloo.
Hello.